The IELTS process or the IELTS diagram question for the IELTS academic writing task 1 is the question I get asked the most from my students. They're always asking me, how do I plan it? How do I write about it? It's different from all the other graphs. So in this video, we're going to do a really deep dive into how to write the answer for the IELTS process or the IELTS writing diagram for the writing task 1. In this IELTS process deep dive, we're going to be doing many things. In this video, we will look at how to read and understand the question and the diagram. We'll look at how to structure your essay, the importance of sequencing words. This is a major part for all IELTS process writing tasks. How to paraphrase the introduction, what to write in your overview, and how to write your body paragraphs. As you can see, it's going to be a very deep dive into every aspect of the IELTS writing task part 1 for the process or diagram. As you probably know, you should be spending 20 minutes of your time on this and you should be aiming to write 150 words. First, let's have a look at the diagram. I looked all over the internet to find a diagram and I thought I would make one myself because then I know it's one you haven't seen before. The diagram below shows the process of how Adam makes his Smash Exams YouTube videos. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. And here is the lovely process that we're going to be looking at today. The first step is reading and understanding the question. The first thing you need to do when you sit down for the academic writing task for the IELTS is understand the question. So we know we need to summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features. So what can we say? Quickly looking at this, we can see the diagram is about how Adam makes his Smash Exam YouTube videos. We can see that it has 10 steps. It is a linear diagram, which means it doesn't loop back around to the start. It starts with Adam having an idea, and it ends with him happy if he gets a new subscriber. This is the first thing I would note when writing the IELTS Academic Writing Task 1 diagram or process. And now we have an understanding of the question, the instructions, and the diagram. We need to make a plan. What do we need to put into our plan? The first thing we need to do is think of some sequencing words. The sequencing words for the process are the most important thing. If you can learn some sequencing words, you're going to get a higher band in the IELTS writing task 1. We also need to look at some synonyms, partly synonyms in the process, but also synonyms in the description. This will come in handy when writing the introduction. And the most important thing, in my opinion, is you need to split the process or the diagram in half, because the first half will be body paragraph 1, and your second will be body paragraph 2. So sequencing words we should do first. These are the words you need to put in that shows the order in which the process happens. These words will be invaluable and you should use as many different ones as you can while making sense. So the first ones are sequencing words to show how to start. You could say firstly, to start with, initially, the first step is. In the middle, you can say after that, next, subsequently, then, follows, afterwards. And for the last steps, you could say finally, lastly, this ends with, the process finishes with. I'm going to be coming back to these sequencing words throughout the video, just so you know how important these sequencing words are for the IELTS academic writing task when you're talking about a process. This is the most important part. You need to split the process into 2. So my first part, body paragraph 1, is going to be this part of the process. I'm splitting it into the first 5 steps. And then body paragraph 2 is going to be the last 5 steps. Later in the video, I'll show you why this is a good idea to do. The structure for all IELTS academic writing task 1s is similar. The first paragraph, you need to write your introduction. After that, you need to do your overview. And after that, you need to write body paragraph 1 and then body paragraph 2. Let's get straight on with the introduction. In the introduction, you need to paraphrase the description of the process. I'm going to look at that on the next slide. Let's have a look at how to paraphrase. So here is our description. The diagram below shows the process of how Adam makes his Smash Exams YouTube videos. So straight away, the diagram below, I'm going to take away below and I'm going to change it to the linear diagram. You saw in the plan that this is a linear diagram. However, if there was a line that went back to the start, it would be a cyclical diagram. However, I'm just changing the diagram below to the linear diagram. Shows is very important to change shows because in every single one of the IELTS academic writing task 1s, it usually says the graph below shows or the diagram shows. Change shows to illustrates, depicts, or represents. The process of how Adam, I might just change that to the steps that Adam takes, or the guide of how Adam makes. I'm changing to create. His Smash Exams YouTube videos, I'm keeping the same because there isn't really a synonym for that. And again, you don't have to paraphrase the whole introduction, just paraphrase what you can so it still makes sense. Putting all that together, we have the linear diagram depicts the steps that Adam takes to create his Smash Exams YouTube videos. Have a go in the comments, write an introduction based on this description. Have a go, I'll give you some feedback. Some general introduction tips for the IELTS process diagram for academic writing task 1. Firstly, always remove below from the question. No need to paraphrase the type of chart, map or process, just keep that the same. Try to stay under 25 words for the introduction if you can. Have a synonym ready for shows because the question always uses shows. So when you're going into the exam, just think whenever it says shows, you're going to change it to illustrates or depicts. Just anyone, it doesn't really matter. Don't try to paraphrase everything and make sure your synonyms are correct. It is better to not paraphrase than to paraphrase and lose the original meaning. That's very important. To get a band 7, it says in the mark scheme, produces many error-free sentences. So it's better to have simple, non-paraphrased vocabulary that's correct than it is to have complex paraphrases and synonyms that are incorrect. In the overview, you need to give a general summary of what the process is. The best way to do that is by saying how many steps there are, say what it starts with, and then say what the last step is. This works for any process diagram for the writing task part 1. Let's have a look at it in action. So when it comes to writing the overview, you need to talk about how many steps they are, what is the first step, and what is the last step. So here we have the process is made up of 10 steps, beginning with Adam having an idea and ending with him being happy that he has a new subscriber. So as you can see here, there's the first step, Adam having an idea, and here's the last step, happy when he gets a new subscriber. Let's look at another way you could write it. The diagram comprises of 10 steps, from Adam having an idea to him happy he has a new subscriber. There's even another way. Making the YouTube videos has 10 different stages. The first step is Adam having an idea, and the last step is him happy that he has a new subscriber. The overview is very simple. Say how many steps there are, say what the first step is, say what the last step is. And it works with anything. Here's one about cooking rice. The diagram consists of 5 steps and starts with adding fresh water to a pan and ends with the rice cooking until the water is absorbed. I'm sure you've all seen this next process because it's in every other YouTube video. Here it is, very quickly. The process has 7 steps, beginning with the digger digging up clay and concluding with the bricks being delivered. Very simple structure. How many steps? What is the first step? What is the last step? Voila, you have the overview. Here's some general overview tips for the IELTS process diagram for academic writing task 1. Use the second paragraph as the overview directly after the introduction. Try to keep it around 20 to 30 words. Always say the number of steps, and you can use some vocabulary such as comprised of, consists of, or involves. Say what it starts with. Again, the first step is, beginning with, or starting with. All of these will work. And also say how it ends. Concludes in, the last step is, or ending with. Here's our essay so far. The introduction in red. The linear diagram depicts the steps that Adam takes to create his Smash Exams YouTube videos. The process is made up of 10 steps, beginning with Adam having an idea and ending with him being happy that he has a new subscriber. That is your overview sentence or overview paragraph in green. And then we know what we have to do next, which is body paragraph 1, which is pre-filming, and the body paragraph 2, which will be filming and post-filming. Let's now have a look at body paragraph 1. This is where it is vital to use your sequencing words and just say what happens step by step. I'm going to be showing you how to write every separate sentence to help you. Let's go with the body paragraph 1. So as we know from our plan, we know what to do with body paragraph 1. Let's have a look at the first section that we're going to be writing about. This is the first 5 stages that we're going to be looking at. And we know that the first step is Adam having an idea. So let's see some of our sequencing words we can use. Let's go with one of these. So there are many ways we can do this. Let's have a look at some. Initially, Adam has an idea for a video. To start with, Adam has an idea for a video. The first step is Adam having an idea for a video. Now we'll choose one of those. I think I'm going to go with initially, Adam has an idea for a video. This will be my first sentence of my body paragraph 1. And it should always be the same. Always start your first body paragraph with how the process starts. So then what comes next? Well, he redrafts it and it goes through a quality check. So we can use the middle sequencing words. Let's have a look. We could say, he subsequently writes a script and then he rewrites it until it passes the quality check. Or he then writes the script. Next, he redrafts it over and over before it passes the quality check. As you can see in red, we're using lots of sequencing words. They are vital for the body paragraphs. Let's go with subsequently writes a script. There we can see it in the bottom left hand of the screen, our body paragraph so far. What happens after that? Well, then he makes some slides. So we can say, after that, Adam makes his slides on his computer. He generally makes between 6 and 7 of them. As you can see, all of the information that I'm using is just directly taken from the process diagram. The next part is a little bit more difficult because there are 2 options we could go. So here we need to use the conditional if and then. So it's if Adam can ignore the distractions of his phone, then he can move on to the next step. Or, following the slides, if Adam can ignore his phone, then he can attend to his appearance. So as you can see, we're using the sequencing words again, and we're going step by step through the process. Finally, he gets dressed up to look good on camera. Now, we can use end sequencing words here because it's the end of the paragraph. So we could say, in the final step before filming, Adam gets dressed up because he wants to look good on camera. Again, we're just using what the process is telling us, so we're just following it along and adding in these sequencing words. Now, you must say the final step before filming because it's not the final step, it's just the final step of this sequence or this paragraph. So here is how it looks at the end. Initially, Adam has an idea for a video. He subsequently writes the script and then he rewrites it until it passes the quality check. After that, Adam makes his slides on his computer. He generally makes between 6 and 7 of them. If Adam can ignore the distractions of his phone, then he can move on to the next step. In the final step, before filming, Adam gets dressed up because he wants to look good on camera. So as you can see in red, all of the sequencing words and how important they are when writing about the IELTS process diagram for the academic writing task 1. This is a total of 76 words. So our essay so far, we have our introduction at the top where we've paraphrased. We have the overview second, which tells us how many steps have been used, how it starts and how it ends. And then we have the first body paragraph that takes us up to the filming stage. Now you can see that our essay is coming together and all we need to do now is write the second body paragraph, which will deal with the filming and what happens after we film. We need to do the same thing again, use these sequencing words, they're very important, and just follow the steps of the diagram. Let's have a look at body paragraph 2. So here is the second part of our process and it starts with filming, editing, publishing, worrying, and then being happy if he gets a new subscriber. So the first part we need to look at is the filming and the editing. So again, we're looking at how to start. We can say, Adam then films his video and he usually does 3 or 4 takes. After filming, he begins with editing his video for about 3 hours. Or, filming is the next step. Adam films 3 or 4 takes of his video, then starts editing. This usually takes 3 hours. Again, we're just using the information in the process diagram and adding in our sequencing words. So here we go. Next part is the publishing and the waiting, checking the likes for the rest of the day. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, give it a like, maybe subscribe, make me happy. We're using the middle sequencing words again. So we could have, after editing, Adam publishes his video to YouTube and then he sits worrying for the rest of the day checking his likes. Or, Adam then publishes his video on YouTube. He subsequently sits worrying for the rest of the day, checking how many likes he got. Don't make me sad. Like the video. If you're enjoying it, like it. I'm going to go for the second one. So we've got most of our body paragraph 2 there in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And now we need to end. So again, we use the ending sequencing words. And we can see he's happy when he gets a new subscriber. There are many different ways to write this. We can use finally, after all the steps, or the last step. Finally, he is happy when he gets a new subscriber, or after all the steps, Adam is happy when he gets a new subscriber, or the last step is Adam being happy that he now has a new subscriber. So let's have a look at the final body paragraph 2. Filming is the next step. Adam films 3 or 4 takes of his video and then starts editing. This usually takes 3 hours. After editing, Adam publishes his video to YouTube, and then he sits worrying for the rest of the day checking his likes. Finally, he is happy when he gets a new subscriber, and that is 54 words in total. So, putting it all together, we have our introduction that paraphrases the description that you're given. We then have the overview, which tells us how many steps there are and what the first and the last step is. Then we use our sequencing words to go through the first part of the process. Then we do the same with the sequencing steps for the second half of the process. This works on all of the process videos. This is how you build up to a full essay. So there you have it. In the introduction, paraphrase the question. In the overview, talk about how many steps there are, the first step and the last step. The first body paragraph, sequencing words, and just follow the first part of the process. And in the second body paragraph, you do the same, but for the second half of the process. Don't write a conclusion. Don't add any of your opinions. It's a report. And after you finish the second body paragraph, you're done. Just stop writing. No need for a conclusion. You already have a summary in the overview, and this will get you really good task achievement points. You then need to finish what you're doing and move on to the writing task 2. Make sure you only spend 20 minutes on this and try to write over 150 words. Thank you for watching this deep dive of how to write the IELTS Academic Writing Task 1 Process Diagram. If you enjoyed the video, have a go in the comments at writing your own version of this question. You can check out these videos for more IELTS tips, tricks, walkthroughs, and help. Click this button to subscribe so you'll never miss a video. Good luck and smash those exams.